Hello everyone, it's Jeff again. This is the second video I'm recording on Friday, so I'm wearing the same shirt. And yeah, I'm trying to stockpile a little content here because I'm switching over to day shift starting tomorrow with the 12-hour shift, no less. That's a nice way to go. And my ability to make videos will probably be a little bit hindered. So I'm trying to keep things rolling with my channel, and I'm making videos whenever I can. This one is another Spin Zone video showing what I've been listening to for the past week and a half, and I've gone head first into that pile of new records that I got over the holidays. I know Dave from his channel The Dark Stuff was curious to see what I thought of a lot of these records because most of them were inspired by his recommendations. So I'm going to do just that right now. This was the first thing I listened to last weekend. I got this for Christmas from my wife, Anderson East. This is his first album, I believe, called Delilah. And I think he's putting another album out soon, if it hasn't come out already. And I think she ordered that one too, which is fine with me because this kind of music is it reminds me of like that kind of those kind of soul albums that you had, or you know, it's got a little bit of a bluesy to it, a lot of soul. A lot of these songs are down tempo, and to be quite honest, a lot of these songs on this album are great to dance to. When I put this on with my wife, we were listening to it, and I jumped up and I took her hand and we danced for a while this album was playing. So it was sweet. I like doing that with her. So yeah, this album, I think this one came out in 2015, so this is a couple years old now, and it came with a CD version of the album as well, so that was nice. So I ripped it to my computer. I can put this on my iPod, and yeah, the music is very nice. You know, it's just slower, laid back, soulful vocals, nice, pleasant listening experience. Delilah by Anderson East. This is a good album. Okay, the next couple are albums that I bought, excuse me, inspired by Dave. His channel is The Dark Stuff, which I'm sure you all know. Inspired off of his best of list of 2017. And sorry I didn't get to these sooner. I got sidetracked a little bit with Buddy Guy for a while, and then other things came along. But I have to say, I'm going to start with my favorite of the bunch that I bought. This album has supplanted Buddy Guy as being my new obsession. I know this was your... I don't know if am I giving away spoilers by telling you this was your top album of 2017? I'm pretty sure everyone's seen the video by now, I hope. I hope I didn't spoil anything for anybody. But this is a bloody good album. I put this on, and I played it all the way through. I was smiling the whole time I was listening to it. And as soon as it was over, I flipped the record back, and I started it over again from the beginning, and I listened to it again. Right then and there. This is a classic album. Every song on this album is up tempo. It's just rocking. I don't know any other way to say it. I mean, here's the gatefold. It's kind of like a Chutes and Ladders game inside the gatefold here, which is cool. Yeah, if you like good power pop that's perfectly played and produced. That's a lot of awesome alliteration there, isn't there? This album is for you. I mean, if you like the Replacements, obviously, because this is Tommy Stinson's band, and it's going to remind you of a Replacements album, which to me is a good thing. I couldn't stop listening to it. Like I said, I played it twice in a row, the record album. It came with a download code. So I downloaded it. I put it on my iPod. And I was listening to it in the car on my way to work. So for the last 2 or 3 days since I played it, this album has dominated. So Dave, I agree with your assessment. This is a 10 out of 10 album. Easily 10 out of 10. I can give this my highest recommendation with no reservations at all. I think if you like rock and roll, if you like power pop, if you like the Replacements, like I said, get this album in any format. Doesn't matter. I think you will be well pleased. This is a great, great, great album. Bash and pop, anything could happen. Almost as good as that one was the St. Vincent, Mass Seduction. And this one, I'd come to this album pretty cold. I mean, I'd heard of St. Vincent, and I didn't really know much of her music. I listened to some of this online. I saw some of the videos that were made for this album, and the songs were enough to make me want to buy this. So I played this yesterday, as a matter of fact, and it is almost as good as the Bash and Pop. I find I really enjoy her vocals, for one thing. She's got a good enough voice where she doesn't need to do, the vocal gymnastics like a lot of female pop singers do. That ooh. I can't stand that crap. She's a good enough singer to get her songs across with the voice she has, and that's kind of a rare thing, I think. But as far as the songs themselves, this is got more of an electronic sound. The title track I thought was really stellar. The track list isn't on the back cover here. She tries to sex it up a little bit on some of these songs, which is okay. I mean, that's kind of hard to do and still be taken seriously. So that kind of docks it a point or a half a point for me. But when she's on and she's in the zone singing, playing guitar, there's some good guitar work on here too that she does. This is a great album. I'd probably give this, out of a 10-point scale, I'd give this like a 9 or maybe a 9.5. It's almost just as good as Bash and Pop, and I know I'll be listening to this multiple times in the future too. So, St. Vincent, Mass Seduction, this is another winner. Dave. Now, this album, Do the Negative Boogie by Dave and Nance. I know this was another one of your top albums, and didn't like it as much. I'll just show the back cover here. The songs themselves are good. This kind of has a lo-fi sound to it. But to be perfectly honest, if I could do anything to change this album, it would be to get rid of the feedback and the shrieking guitar noise, which are on most of these tracks. Because it struck me as unnecessary. When I play these albums, usually I listen to a lot of these albums at home when everyone's gone. So I turn the volume up, real loud. I want to jam out where possible. And in a couple songs, he just lets loose this ear-bleeding feedback and shrieking just... I actually turned the sound down a little bit on this album. As far as a singer, this guy reminds me of someone. It kind of reminds me of like Television, or maybe Richard Hell, that kind of affected singing, which is fine. That part doesn't really bother me. And the tracks that don't have all the shrieking feedback are actually good. I actually liked it, but there's just too many tracks that have that, and it just seems like it's just, why are you doing that's just, it's not adding anything to the song. And I mean, I have nothing against noise rock, but it just seemed forced. So this is a decent album. I'll probably give this like a 6. But I didn't like it anywhere near as much as the St. Vincent or the Bash and Pop. Sorry. But hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And those 2 albums are real winners. And those are going to be heavy rotation on my turntable and my iPod. So, but this one, not so much. Sorry. And just to be a completist and show you everything that I've listened to, I spun Disraeli Gears this morning. This was a reissue from the 70s that I got a couple months ago. And this was the last Cream album that I needed to complete my run, I guess you could say, of Cream albums. And I'm well familiar with this album, and I'm sure most of you are too. And it's great. You know, it's Cream, the Disraeli Gears. What else can you say? For a 50-year-old album, this the music is really standing the test of time. So there you go. Okay, basically cleared the decks of everything I've listened to for the past week, and I'll be coming back at you with more videos in the near future. So till then, take care, peace, and I'll see you soon.